to the video lecture on the course of AMP and linear integrated circuit. In this session, we will be discussing the components of PLL. And in the previous sessions, we have discussed the two components. First one was the phase detector. The second one was the a filter, that is the low pass filter. And in this session we will be discussing the third component, which is nothing but the voltage controlled oscillator. So this voltage control oscillator we will be seeing in detail how it is going to provide the frequency, how it is going to convert voltage to frequency. So a voltage controlled oscillator is an oscillator circuit in which the frequency of oscillations can be controlled by an external applied voltage. As we have seen in our principle of operation, the signal from the low pass filter or the error signal from the phase detector is applied to the low pass filter, where high frequency signals are removed, and these high frequency signals are low frequency signals are amplified, and this amplified voltage is applied to the voltage controlled oscillator, what we call it as a control voltage. It provides a relationship between the applied voltage and the oscillation frequency. The applied voltage is called the control voltage here. The control of frequency with the help of control voltage is called voltage to frequency conversion. VCO is used to produce square and triangular waveforms. So here two waveforms we can obtain, the square wave and the triangular waveforms. Now normally this voltage control oscillator, in seeing the applications part of it, we use IC. IC provided from the Signetics, either termed as SC or NE 566 is used. So we will see the pin configuration of this IC of voltage control oscillator, the block diagram and the connection diagram, how it can be enabled to obtain this particular voltage controlled oscillation part. Seeing the pin configuration of a NE or SC 566 voltage control oscillator, it is a 8 pin IC here, and this is a provided from the Signetics Corporation. And as we have stated, it provides two outputs. One is the square wave output and the triangular wave output, and the control voltage is applied at the pin number 5. The two outputs are obtained at the pin number 3 and pin number 4. The supply voltage of plus V is applied to pin number 8, and the pin number 6 and 7 are the external, are used for external components, that is for the resistance R1 and the capacitance C1. So seeing on the block diagram part, this 566 IC consists of two current sources. One is for charging the capacitor, another one is for discharging the capacitor. The Schmitt trigger, the charging and discharging action is provided by the limits are provided by this Schmitt trigger, and the buffer amplifiers. The buffer amplifiers are mainly used here because to provide the output impedance. The output impedance is around 50 ohms. To match the output impedance, so these buffer amplifiers are used. So this is the block diagram of the IC 566, which is the voltage controlled oscillator. Now seeing the connection diagram of this IC here. So this will be the connection diagram in which we connect all the external components, the resistance R1, the capacitance C1, which is connected at pin number 7 and 6. The pin number 8 is connected to plus V, and additionally there are other components used, that is the resistance R2, capacitance C2 and the resistance R3. At pin number 5 control voltage is applied, and at pin number 4 and 3 the triangular wave is obtained at pin number 4 and the square wave is obtained at pin number 3. The frequency of oscillation is mainly determined by R1 and C1 and the voltage Vc applied to the control terminal 5. The triangular wave is generated alternatively charging the external capacitor C1 by one current source and linearly discharging it by the other current source. The charge discharge levels are determined by the Schmitt trigger action. The Schmitt trigger also provides a square wave output. So the square wave is nothing but it is the output of the Schmitt trigger typical amplitude of a triangular wave is 2.4 volt peak to peak, and this is a fixed value since it is we are using IEC. So 2.4 volt peak to peak is of a triangular wave, and a square wave we are going to get a amplitude of 5.4 volt peak to peak. So this is how the IC can be connected to obtain the frequency of oscillation. The major part, what we can say, the combination of R1 and C1, and it is playing a major role, as well as the control voltage VC what we apply to the pin number 5. These are playing the major role, what we can say, to obtain the frequency. The combination of R1 C1 determines the free running frequency of the PLL, what we can say. The control voltage VC at terminal 5 is set by the voltage divider formed by the resistance R2 and R3. R2 and R3. The initial voltage VC at terminal 5 must be in the range, so VC must be lying between plus V and 3 by 4 of plus V. So in this range, this is as to be obtain the control voltage. The modulating signal is AC coupled with a capacitor C and must be less than 3 times of the peak to peak value. The frequency of output waveform is approximated as F0 is approximately equal to 2 times plus V minus VC divided by R1 C1 into plus V, where R1 should be in the range lying between 2 kilo ohm and 20 kilo ohm. If this is obtained, then frequency can be obtained at that particular range. For fixed VC and constant C1, the frequency F0 can be varied over 10:1 frequency range by the choice of resistance R1. For a constant R1C1 product, the free running frequency F0 can be modulated over a range 10:1 range by the control of the voltage VC. The small capacitor of 0.001 microfarad should be connected between the pin number 5 and pin number 6 to eliminate the possible oscillations in the current source, if there are any. So a small value of capacitance is used. If VCO is to be used to drive standard logic circuitry, a dual supply is recommended, so that square wave output has proper DC levels for logic circuitry, that is the plus value and the minus value. Initially, when we use a single supply voltage, we get the voltages from 0 to a peak value. If we use a dual supply voltage, then we get plus saturation and minus saturation, or plus VCC and minus VEA. So these are some of the recommendations followed for this particular IC, that is NE566 voltage controlled oscillator. And this voltage control oscillator is one of the component of our PLL, and when this is connected into the PLL system, this the control voltage obtained from the amplifier or the low pass filter will help in driving the frequency or obtaining the frequency of the phase lock loop of the system. Thank you for watching this particular session.